Alright. Oh, yes. Where are you? Found you. Just go back home. Ready to chill. Oh, let's see. Turn that on. That lower. Oh. Alright, so how do I deal with this chrono? So the issue is, whenever I swap stuff, I always do Control Shift 1 and Control 1. So if I do this, that, number 2, 3, that, 3, and 3. So this constantly gets swapped because this is a fucking Chronomancer. How do I solve this? I don't think I have a good way of solving it. I mean, I could just unbind them, but I use it on other classes as well. Like, remove this and this will just talk to an empty template. Sure, that'll tell me, but it will still be very odd. I don't want that. I want something more seamless. So, I don't know. So apparently Vindicators want Vigor. Wouldn't you know that? So we're gonna go and make sure that my heal builds are good on my Tempest. I will transition to Heal Zerker when that comes out in 2 months, but that is not today. So what do we have? We've got a lot of garbage. Get out of here. What's her name? Kunavang. Heal Catalyst, Heal Tempest. Okay, so I do have both. But this is... it says, oh, what the fuck is this build? Why do I have 3 builds? Oh, because I have a... What are my builds? What are my builds? What the fuck? You know, I'm just gonna... I'm not doing this. There we go. Come on. Windows. Now you want to be cool, but you gotta work with me here. Alright. And GW2skills.net. Okay. Alright, so first we're gonna do a Tempest, because that is the easiest one to do. And generally the most relevant. Alright, Tempest, all these builds are going to be Dagger, Warhorn. We'll have a staff on the offset, if I ever care for it. Alright, Wash the Pain away. Rebound. Alright, here, pretty much going to be running that. Jade Bot, yes. This, we're going to run air, we're going to run water. And then just so we can have a baseline, everything is Harrier. And then this will be Monk. And then, yeah. So this is baseline Tempest right now. Okay. So without food, without utility, and without runes, I'm at 80% boon duration. This does not switch, right? Yes, correct. So the goal is 100% boon duration. So how are we going to accomplish this? First I'm going to clean this up because it bothers me. Okay. the game really that quiet? Yeah, I guess so. What up? Oh, video game. Okay, so just to go over my traits again, we have water. I have soothing mist to 5 people. Column 1 does not matter. So we take the bottom one because that is a support thing. We have heal nearby allies when attuning to water. Middle column, that sucks. That's only to me, and so we do the one that does allies. That's cool. And then here we want to do aura share that because that's the main thing for Tempest here. Alright, so for Tempest itself, this is the main thing we want here. Whenever we grant vigor to allies, we give them endurance, so goes to latent stamina. Are there any weird behaviors? The internal cooldown only applies to the vigor gained upon attuning to water. The endurance gained for each application of vigor does not have any cooldown. Okay. And then auras also grant regen and vigor, and that will apply to allies. I gain increased concentration while above the threshold, okay? But that is about it. So, currently the cooldown on my attunements are 16 seconds with alacrity, right? Yes. Which means I'm gonna have to swap I have to swap 3 attunements. Arcane really doesn't lower the cooldown by too much. I think. Yeah, so this would just make them 14. So you would just have to spend 7 seconds in each, which is realistic. But I like making sure that I get vigor and swiftness. Alright, so boon duration wise. Wait, actually, does Arcane give anything? Okay, it does. I'm just confirming. Hidden concentration and your attunements gain reduced recharge. Okay. So you just gain concentration by default. That's cool, I guess. And otherwise, you give a tiny amount of might, tiny amount of regen, which doesn't matter. Protection, which doesn't matter. Because this one doesn't matter. Wait, what's my boon duration? 91? Yeah, so if we were to head over to Special Forces... Special Forces training area. Oh no! We want quickness.
If you have any inquiries, come speak to me.
The storm. Yeah, so if we ran... Well, currently, if I just ran as I am right now, we would start off by doing... Oh wow, this is really generous. Interesting. That's really generous. And this is without arcane. Really? That's really generous. What? I was not expecting that. Are you supposed to like min-max your... What? It's supposed to min-max your concentration? Okay. So where's the... Where is it? Where's the everything? Celestial! What's the boon duration here? Okay, so... Damn it, I keep doing that. Celestial. So in full Celestial gear, I am at 70 boon duration. Really? Only 70? Can I not have a... I'm at 76, I'll just give it this, sure. So this is about what that would be, just by default, okay? I like our technicians keeping them on me. 5 might, I mean, now we're gonna go with that what we need to see. Alright, fucked up. We're gonna reset. Do the initial might gens. Welcome. So I'm just trying to get reacquainted with this build again. And I am learning that I haven't, I guess first off, I know this build pretty well, but I have not touched this build ever since the alacrity changes. Or people, it was always on pulse. There was never alacrity on the completion of an overload. So now that I'm actually messing with that, and apparently even in air or fire or earth, you can just go into attunements and have so much alacrity, which I thought was not possible.
Like camping one of them you can?
It's more camping 2 instead of 3.
Oh, okay.
Like that's what really caught me off guard. So I'm trying to do some build crafting here. Man. Really? I'm at 70% boon duration right now. And I'm capped on alacrity. That's 7.
Is that with 2 overloads, or is that
Just
3?
2. I'm doing fire, other stuff, go to water, go back to fire. The protection's a bit sketch, or at least it looks sketch, but we need a person inside to confirm. Because this also gives protection. Because protection is not an issue if you do a triple attunement. But apparently you can do it well with only 2. Okay, so if I'm at 70% boon duration, which is coincidentally how much boon duration you have when you run full Celestial, this doesn't matter much. So do I give myself protection? Overloads grant protection to allies, right?
If it says allies, it should give it to you. If it just says other allies, I think is when it doesn't.
Improved effectiveness does not affect allies? That's hilarious. What? So the protection of Hardy Conduit, the one main theme of Tempest, where protection is more potent, doesn't apply to allies? What? It's just a selfish trait then? Just Tempests. If you're a Tempest, you have any protection on you, you just take less damage because of it. I thought it was to allies. Okay. Well, fuck me. So okay, is all my protection? Hold on. I'm gonna find somebody and overload on them and see what they get. Here, come here, dude. Do you get protection? No. Shit. Okay. So that is only to you. So all the protection uptime I had was either from my Earth Shout or what I selfishly give myself. So if I'm doing a roughly 16-second rotation, if I went Arcane, this gives roughly 10 seconds of protection. So no matter what, I am still forced to go into Earth and do an Earth overload.
Well, I was wondering,
Mm-hmm.
Since it's a rotational healer, if you just were to like do fire earth, and save water for when there's actually incoming damage, would you be missing out on anything important? Like any other boons that
Water. No, I would not be missing out on anything.
Because that could work for some fights at least.
If I don't ever go in water or only use water as utility, I can't go back into it for 10 seconds, which I mean, that can be fine. But also, I don't have much utility for healing outside of it. So my heals in water, Soothing Mist only when I am in water. whenever I attune to water, which can be fine. Regen, my heal. And I do have other things that can heal, but now we get into, okay, what do I take from my utilities? So, let's see. So for Veil Guardian, let's say, I would want to take Frost Aura because rather Flash Freeze because I want to use Frost Aura mostly for the CCs to happen, or if somebody's like not fully healed, I can make sure they take less damage after the fact. I could take Eye of the Storm, but all it is stability and a stun break. So I would probably end up taking Signet of Water. And now we're at the weakness of this build. What else do you fucking take?
You don't have a lot of defensive utilities, right?
It's more like there's nothing to take.
There should be a stability.
Yeah, the stability
shout.
thing right here. But
Okay,
I'm just thinking of like per boss.
It's one stack.
Yeah, it's one stack, but it's also a stun break on a 30-second cooldown. But I'm just trying to think about if I were to bring this, like Veil Guardian, this instance.
Do you have a push?
I don't have a. I have a push, but it's a bad push.
Okay, not like a utility push though.
No. I have a quick immobilize.
Any group Aegis on a utility?
Right here, Aftershock.
Cause that's decent, but that's a long cooldown.
Yeah.
That's probably what I would take, but
I'm Veil Guardian. And
it's just.
It's like this boss. It's hard to like build properly because you could take a Lightning Hammer, and you can use Wind Blast to just eat something like a Guardian Hammer 4. But that would only work on one Seeker. So the only other thing would be I could just run Frostbow, because if I just auto attack with this build, I heal. So I can
That's
just
actually really good healing too.
Yeah, so I can just camp an attunement, not do much, eventually overload.
So you get a on-demand healing and whatever attunement you want if you bring Frostbow.
But once I drop my Frostbow, it's gone.
There's the other one though.
What was that?
Because like, if nobody grabs your other one, then you have two technically,
Yes.
right?
So I could run like Flash Freeze, this bow, and Signet of Water. Like this would be the most healing I could do outside of water, because I don't do anything while in water. Not much.
Air is basically useless, right? Aside from CC.
Air helps. Air just gives an aura, which is really easy. It also helps with swiftness.
Oh, so that makes sense.
And then if you complete your overload,
It gives you
applies
like a small damage.
No, it gives allies that small static
Yeah.
charge. It's effectively
I've
just
seen
an air
it on
sigil proc.
my like logs. I have it sometimes.
Yeah.
It does like 1k damage or something, but it's something.
Yeah, so now their next attack is an air sigil. You don't need to go out of Ice Bow if you don't want to, but this is an aura, it's protection, and it extends all boons by 3 seconds.
Very good.
I'm just trying to think because first 2 Frostbow, Water Arrow. Water Arrow does not scale well for either.
I'd get like 1,000 healing per attack or something like that if you've got It's okay. I'm guessing none of the other skills heal.
No. This is damage, damage, damage,
CC. The CC is actually really good.
Yes, and it's a very unique kind of CC that doesn't. It's not necessarily a stun. It's you're frozen. It's like the kind of stun that you get from like Shiro Elite or Passy Bones. It's unique, and it affects bosses in different ways.
And it scales with paralyzation and stuff like that still, right?
I would imagine so, yeah. And if it scales with paralyzation and all that, then it should. This is a stun, so if I swap to air.
Oh yeah, you do have that.
So I can run Storm Soul, Mesmer Rune, Paralyzation. Well, actually, Mesmer Rune wouldn't do anything. It would just be Paralyzation and this for a 66% increase. So we could see how powerful that is for fun.
Does Mesmer only work on dazes?
I believe so. Goes to Mesmer Rune. I mean, we can always test it. It's fine.
Yeah, it just says dazes, but...
Deadly Raid Squad is a happy raid squad. Practice your skills using our state-of-the-art golems.
Alright, so we have a 10-second Defiance bar. So that did about 500. And... Alright, so that's 500 default, and I am actually using this. So let's remove Storm Soul and see what it does. Alright, so it does affect it. And apparently this only goes up to 2 stacks. Good to know. I thought it was 5 for some reason.
I mean, you can get up to the 4 seconds at most then.
So this would affect it. So all it is a 4-second stun, and then you modify it, so it goes up like what, 600 something? I mean, I wish I had GW2 launcher set up so I can test this stuff, because I need to see is to what is it? I lost my train of thought. I need to see the actual healing I do. Because in this build I have a 1, 2 blast finishers. Only 2? Okay, so that's not a bad. So that's 2 blast finishers every some seconds. So I'm more thinking of Caracosa Relic, the heal on blast finisher guarantee instead of Monk, because Monk does not affect regen. So how do I do this? So since you can maintain boons pretty well with low boon duration, I consider 70% to be low. What if I ran full Celestial and I try to also do damage? I am concerned about my healing output. I just realized I'm streaming actual GW2 and not the actual screen. So, in a full Celestial setup, what would I want to take? So I don't need boon duration, so I can take any other rune.
I feel like Tempest makes the most use out of Celestial.
Alright, so Snowcrow's Yellow Alacrity Tempest is a mix of blah blah. That it doesn't matter. They recommend Arcane because why would you think to use anything else? But if I were to run Condition Tempest, or learn from Condition Tempest, let's look at Alacrity Condition. So it runs Trapper Rune. So let's throw on Trapper Rune and see what that looks like. Alright, we are at about 60% condition duration. Sorry, yeah, 60%. And we have almost 1700 condition damage.
Pretty decent, actually.
Does Condition Weaver use anything cool? No, it's all Fractal all Trapper Rune, all boring. Earth Torment, Smoldering Torment, Smoldering Earth.
The only thing that strikes me cool about like the current Condi elemental stuff is that I think they all bench with hammer right now.
Most of it, yeah.
Which is pretty unique.
We are actually never going to use staff here, so just delete it. Smoldering and so Arcane is optional. So what if I ran fire? Burning will inflict as increased duration. That sounds good. Applying auras to allies removes conditions, and transmuting auras removes conditions on nearby allies. So if I don't run that, I can always run Burning Rage, okay? Wars 2 Fire Attunement. Okay, so we need to look at what this stuff is. What is Flame Expulsion? After a short delay, consume might on yourself and release a torrent of flame. Allies are granted might, while damage and burning is increased based on might consumed. So it only removes 10 might, it applies it to allies. And I also do a lot of burning from it, and I get might back easily. In this condition, Alacrity Tempest, what do they run? They run top, top, top. I could try top, top, top. I'm more just concerned about healing at this, because now I'm going way too hard on damage. And it's hard to know what my healing output is, so... suppose let's find out, I guess. Celestial... I'm not concerned about the damage, I'm just concerned about my healing. I assume you're going to be in Fractals for ages.
Yeah, probably a little while. I just CS'd back on the Connect side. I gotta say, like, people are actually doing a lot better on this now. It just took a while.
Would anyone like to join me in SFTA for some build crafting test?
I saw a group that was looking for a Q DPS, and I was like, I want to do that. Because that means I have a whack healer.
Alright, so dagger. I have a celestial dagger. Nice. So I have a celestial warhorn. And now, okay, so I'll just use that. I need celestial ring. Do I have one? Probably not. There we go. And then how about a celestial amulet? There we go. Nice.
What can I do for you?
Wait, why is my boon duration garbage now? Oh, because I swapped to fire. Does arcane really matter that much? Yeah. So a good rune alternative goes to runes. I want. Where's the thing? Boon duration. Alright, where's my boon condition duration? Boon, boon, boon. Do 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 do. No. Is that actually used anymore? Guardian. Condition quick brand. You do use firebrand rune. Oh wait, this is a
Yeah,
never mind.
The new variant of that build does the axe damage trait instead of the heal quickness one.
I'm gonna try Lissa rune. Lissa, it's not great, but it gives both boon and condition duration. Boon duration is now 63, but I can always edit the rotation. Great testing.
Welcome. Feel free to approach the console and begin combat.
I only want quickness.
If you have any questions, I'm all ears.
Oh yeah, what does condition Tempest bring? This would bring elemental power, storms, and fire. I would bring Feel the Burn. Maybe not Flash Freeze. We'll see. Alright, so let's first get a rough estimate of what my damage output would be, even though it's probably going to be garbage. Gotta see for the sake of seeing. Alright, so Field of Burn will go there. Signet of Water there. And let's say I have the luxury of taking Signet of Fire. Now I do 12k damage with my build that doesn't even have sigils and runes.
Oh wow.
Alright, now I need to know what my healing output is. The goal is I need to be comfortable in the medium environmental damage. So we're going to start with mildly threatening, and we're going to see just how that feels. Alright, that was as expected to be easy. But I need a boon buddy to test medium well.
I can help you in a little bit, but it might be a little while.
I'm still doing basic testing. If it's not even comfortable just normally, like right now, then there's an issue. I'm very concerned about that.
Well, feel free to approach the
I was just slowly dying the entire time, and I have to rely on my heal skill to stay alive, and I am in Celestia. Got a nice rotation though.
Is it close enough that you think like a sigil or something could make up the difference?
I don't know.
Somebody crashed out right at the end of I.
Rip. So if I can't even live this, then if I were to bring this to like severe CM, I would, I couldn't do it. So in
You can
that,
do it on like low healing intense
of
fights.
course, yeah. And in low, I didn't even use Signet of Water either. So I always could take something else. I just don't know what. I wish I could run Elemental Bastion, which is just heal allies who grant an aura to. But I have to pick Alacrity.
That one should be like a different column or something.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes it really feels like ANET doesn't really think about how to set up trait lines, and then other times it does.
What is this? Doors to Tempest Os Auras. That's weird. Okay, so how do I give vigor that is not invigorating torrents? Let's find out. How about this? Doors to Vigor. What are my sources of vigor? Oh, grant some e-vigor. Oh, that gives vigor, but it's... No. Cantrips. Yep. Alright, so I couldn't really do that. Okay. So I couldn't ditch that. And the point is to run middle, bottom, middle for Tempest. So... what if I just ran Arcane just for the sake of it? What if I ran Elemental Surge and ran like... you would never want to ditch that. Well, there's no point in that, so I'll just run that. What's my crit? 54? And that's without Fury? Okay. I don't know, let's try Arcane. But this one I'm just testing damage because there isn't too much else I can do. Alright, so I do about 3,000 less by not taking fire and taking arcane instead.
And it gives you a lot more support, or does it just
No,
like
it doesn't give me any, helps with boons, I guess. Doesn't do anything else. What does Earth do again? Ours you grant gives protection. But I wouldn't take that, would just what? Gain condition damage based on my toughness, and inflict bleeding when I immobilize, or I grant stability whenever I attune to Earth. Ooh, that could be cool. I'm gonna try Earth. I think it's gonna be a bad idea, but we're gonna have some fun. So I should get more aura share when I'm in Earth. Alright, do 1,000 more damage by taking Earth. But is that enough of support? I don't know. I don't think so. None of this changes the fact I don't heal.
Welcome. Feel free to approach the console and begin combat practice. If you have any questions, I'm all ears.
Water is all just power damage. Oh, while I'm here, man, so let's play around with sigils. So that was smoldering and torment. Yeah, sure. And then I'm running Lissa. Found boon duration because I'm not taking that. And let's mess with the best case scenario, fire. Top. Just for fun. No food yet. Oh, the golem's dead. I need to do a 4 million golem at this point.
Is there a Mesmer weapon that generates 2 clones? Like not phantasms, but clones?
The staff.
I guess axe technically, because you can do 2 axe 2s in a row.
Alright, so incorporating a lot more water skills into my rotation, I actually have a really... what's the word? Mind-numbingly simple rotation that... I don't know, it's just so easy to just get into the rhythm of it and everything just flows so well. Like, I'm actually surprised how well everything goes because you're never auto attacking. I love it. I love my own rotation. But now let's test out the healing of it. Moderately threatening. Alright.
Sometimes that's a good thing, and sometimes it's like you get too zoned out, I guess.
Yeah. Alright, so I am slowly dying. I do have to insert my actual heal into the rotation. You can find a good spot for it. Guess an earth.
I think illusions might be better than dueling for some bosses just because you'll get an extra continuum split.
Alright, so I do a very consistent 12k exact. Okay. But still without food.
I have some celestial healing output food if you want.
Nah, I can always use a birthday cake. Yeah, this one, just waiting for you to eventually finish practice so I can test on you. Because I have a rotation that I think can comfortably live medium environment. But this would still be a build you wouldn't want to bring in high and more intense healing encounters. But I need to also see what the boon situation is like on another person. Because I do give myself a lot of boons, so I'll leave it at this and we will evaluate the build when you're good to go.
I have just the regular dailies left.
Alright.
Which is 2, because CM was one of them.
Yeah. Man, I still can't get over how smooth the rotation feels. I don't know, there's a lot of builds that rely on counting your auto attacks in order to succeed. Like, that can be fine, but it's also really satisfying in like a power berserker when all you're doing is you never care about your auto attacks. It's always, okay, what are my combos to get my thing? And that would be like a 2-4 or a 2-3, a 4-3, a 5. Your other skills, and
yep.
You never
My
auto
favorite rotations are ones where you never auto attack. It feels good.
Yeah. And so while I really like it in this build, it is also a healer. But if we are lowering the scope, what would be an encounter that would be medium healing? Maybe Doom? Maybe.
Yeah. Like if you're doing you could probably do Kiter on that build pretty easily, I imagine. I just don't know how easy it would be to upkeep boons during the beginning, but it doesn't matter that much.
When you'll see the boons for yourself, they are I think it's a very stack-oriented healer, kind of. I mean, that's just the way Tempest is, but at least when you're going more DPS-oriented with it, it is just more stack-oriented because you start, do a couple skills in fire, and then you do a fire overload. And then you have to work your way through water, air, all the way to earth, use your earth skills, and your alacrity is like 1 to 2 seconds away from going out, but then you extend it by 3 seconds. And then you have an earth overload. And then you go back, air, water, fire. And then once we start going back and forth a lot, it'll start to overflow. And my one part of the build I really love with how I have it set up is it's fire, water, air, earth. Earth, air, water, fire. You literally go through the elements in order and then back in the order they are. And in doing so, you're actually, your skill order kind of fits with that, kind of flows. When you're going up on the order, you do water 2, air 3, air 4, and then Earth for, and then use your other Earth skills. And then when you go back, you're effectively going backwards with your skill order. So it's Earth 2, and then you do a 3-2 on air, and then a 5-4, 3-2 water, and then you do another 2 on fire and use your other skills. Just feel it's very amusing.
Sounds pretty smooth. Do any of the auto attacks actually do anything useful for that build? Like, does the water one do like a decent amount of healing?
Water, the only useful one is Earth, and it's for cut damage.
Okay. That's kind of very convenient then, I guess, because
yeah. There are
when you're in other attunements, do you do healing at all, or is it mostly just water?
It is just water. Water and any other utilities I have that heal.
Okay.
And of course, regen.
But if you could heal an aura, then that would also
it would make my life really simple. Alright, so effectively I never want to ditch Signet of Fire. But my other spec, I can have it be, my other thing, I can have it be anything I want. Maybe the smart option is to just run Glyph of Elementals for your elite and just have a giant elemental that heals. Or CCs. And not run Rebuild.
Yeah, the water one actually does a lot of healing too, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does a lot of damage, a lot of healing, and it does the most CC.
Oh wow.
It's so overpowered. I'll try that, and then for my other elite, you know, this is to showcase the damage potential of the build. So we're gonna run Glyph of Elemental Power. And we're gonna see how we do. Alright. So as long as I replicate the rotation, I don't have to worry about healing.
You summon like a lesser water elemental, does that also heal?
No.
Bummer. I am done. I am on my way. Are you gonna have to leave and re-enter?
I have to go to Aerodome.
Yep.
Alright, so I'm more just curious about what your booms are when I do my rotation normally. And then we'll see what the damage is. If I can heal you through or not.
Remember to eat more sweet.
I'm here.
Nah, I'm loading in.
Okay.
Welcome.
I already give myself
Feel free to
quickness.
approach the console and begin combat practice. If you have
And
any
nothing
questions,
else.
I'm all ears.
Alright, so just stand still and we'll see what your boons are like.
A lot of vigor, wow. Oh, I do have improved the lacquer. Do you want me to turn that off? No, I don't. Yeah, I do.
I don't think it matters too much. I fucked up my rotation. Feels bad when I have to say that as a healer. If you could stand inside a hitbox, since a lot of my stuff is stack oriented, that would help. Alright, we got our precast and we go.
I think I actually have to hit it once that my boon table updates. The new one.
Alright.
So, might, regen, and vigor were perfect the entire time. Protection and swiftness had some gaps, but like, for all purposes, it should be fine. I'd say like, you know, doing like green suck, you might want to just hold a protection skill to make sure it's up the whole time. But other than that, it's probably like 90% uptime for both. Alacrity dropped a bit, but I do have improved alacrity, and I would be filling in the small gaps. It was probably 95% uptime even with that.
Yeah, for alacrity, you can look at me then.
Yep. And I think yours didn't drop at all, right?
Yeah, so that's still a concern though, because I mean, I guess if you were doing a rotation, your shatters would give you alacrity, so that would fill in the gaps, but that still sucks.
I mean, I think it's mostly normal. Like, I think I cover like 40% of my alacrity if I'm doing shatters fast enough, so it's
okay. So
like I would hit 30 seconds pretty quickly if I was also doing it.
So what were the boons? Might, vigor, regen, a little bit of protection, swiftness.
Swiftness, protection were almost perfect. Alacrity was even closer to perfect than those two. You know, vigor, regen, and might were all perfect.
So
25 stacks the whole time.
So no resolution.
No fury, but
yeah, no fury because I'm running fire instead of air. That's a simple spec change, but I lose a lot of damage from it.
And most quick DPSs would be covering fury,
or just most builds do.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I suppose we'll see how the damage is. Sorry, the heal pressure is. So I'm gonna start this and try to rush over as fast as I can.
Practice your skills using our state-of-the-art guns.
I can't even block it, that's funny. I'll just distort for a sec. Do you mean to run in with you? Or blink in?
You went... Damn, went down?
I was at like 6k HP by the time you got to me. I can just blink in.
I'm not sure... Oh, we can try that. It seems kind of whack.
Because most of the time you'll have time to like ramp up. Do your opening boon stuff before worrying about me.
No, we could try it, sure. Hold on. And then, ready check, let's go. Okay. Thank you, I guess.
It's a lot higher healing pressure than most fights. That burst healing is still really good though.
What I'm gonna start doing is not use my, what is it? That guy who just died anymore. Because that is where a lot of my healing is coming from. Now you should start healing more threat.
Yep. I'm hovering about half HP.
Yeah, that's what I was concerned because I think toughness affects it.
I also, like, when I do drop protection, I start taking a lot more damage too.
Alright, Alright. I have a solution. I just have to make sure you don't die. So it's just barely so... I don't think this Torment is going to do much. What if I just ran... I think that's a mistake. I'm going to run Transference. How about this? I do that, and I run a Birthday Cake. I'm not going to make any other changes.
What's your other sigil?
Smoldering.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to give that up.
Yeah, it's a lot. I have
looking at your outgoing damage, Torment is a very small amount, but if it's only from the sigil,
it's only from the sigil.
It's actually pretty good then.
I might try running something else here.
Which relic are you using?
Relic, I am using Monk right now, but that can always... I'm probably... Flesh, item search, enable. Hold up. Caracosa. And that is bound to my... Is that bound? I could try to run Caracosa. It's an interesting idea. I just need to know if it's bound or not because I don't have the currency to buy another relic. Because I have 2 blast finishers.
I am a couple more months for legendary relic.
Yeah. But the thing with legendary relic is I need one. You're gonna need one of every relic.
Oh really?
I mean, that would make sense. I doubt they'll just... I'm expecting it... I mean, it could work like legendary runes, but I'm expecting it to be like, you can only use the relics that you have unlocked, or you have bound to your character, or you have, like, consumed into your legendary armory.
That would make sense. That's how they should do it for, infusions too, but...
But they didn't do it for the... Okay, this is... It's a countdown. Okay. They did not do it for runes, though. So they might not also do it for relics. But there's also all these achievements, and relics are also really expensive. So I wouldn't be surprised. I'd imagine that's why they're putting it on hold for so long.
If they truly weren't intending on making it either, then there's a lot of work, but...
Alright, we are going to try Caracosa. I don't think it's going to work well, but we'll find out.
That's the one that does the blast finisher? Or heal on blast finisher?
And I have 2 that I am using. I effectively have 1 every like 10 seconds.
Deadly Raid Squad is a happy raid squad.
So that's just
Your
a
skills
heal
using
every
our
10
state-of-the-art
seconds.
guns.
And I'm going to try to keep things... We're going to test one at a time. So, Torment. We're going to go back to Sigil of Torment. Only change is Caracosa. And we're going to see if this makes a difference or not. Oh yeah, I could just start firing. Alright. And this is a 1 million goal this time. Environment. Medium. And I don't want... I want to run Field of Burn. Alright, 3, 2, 1, ready, check.
Feels about the same.
Maybe... Alright, environment, remove. Go and do this. Okay, so my blast finishers are this. and this. So I can always do a frozen burst every time I go into water. Do I have any other blast finishers? I don't think easily, no. I don't really have any other heals, and I don't want to rely on my big elemental boy. That's a blast finisher, but that's terrible. What does this look like? Did you see that?
I did not see it. A little splash.
Arcade, it's a wave. Oops.
Oh, it's an ammo.
Yeah. It's an ammo, 30-second count. I'm not gonna use it, but it's it's just really funny. Swap that. Okay. If you're dying that early on, that doesn't bode well. And now a rotation change shouldn't be. I don't think a rotation change is gonna change anything.
Yeah, the only thing I could say is like I'm already down to like 30% before I get.
Yeah,
the
because I'm
first
not healing
protection
for like the
application.
first 8 seconds.
Yep. And I'm not getting protection either. So like, first 8 seconds is just free damage.
And I don't wanna just cheese this. Because it would be very easy. All I need to do is run Magnetic R and done.
There's very few situations where like you'd be taking that much damage before your rotation ramps up anyway, but
I mean, we could simulate it in a way.
just get in combat and hit like, before we run in.
I mean, if we're doing this, I'm gonna swap back to fire. I'm not gonna do anything different, but just because we want to simulate a, you're not gonna take that much damage at the very beginning of the encounter, maybe except for like severe. How about you wait until I finish my fire overload, since we already know the boon situation, and once that's done, you then blink in. Back up a bit. The AoE of the environment is not accurate. It's so dumb. Alright, so after I finish my fire overload. Ready, check. And done.
Once the protection falls off, my health just goes into free fall.
Okay, so let's solve the protection issue. I do have a solution. I just really thought that the protection, like that's my protection overload. I don't do other protection, and that I guess. But if we just want to solve protection, if I ever want to, since protection is apparently struggling.
You use Sand Squat after Overload Earth or before?
I always use it before.
Because if you used it after, that's going to give you 3 seconds longer per rotation.
I could try. That could be a rotation optimization to do. It just messes with the flow of everything, but I'm already waiting for overload. Anyways. Alright, same thing, except that'll be the change I make.
If you have any inquiries, come speak to me.
incoming. Yeah, you're dead. Alright, dude.
There's like maybe 5 or 6 seconds after it fell off before your next overload Earth.
Man, it was really that bad? Man. Alright. Let's do the solution then. I will run Arcane.
Okay.
That's the solution. That'll solve the issue.
How much damage do you lose by taking Arcane?
2,000-3,000.
Oh wow. I mean, it's something like.
Alright, so now I'll be taking Arcane Power. That goes there. Alright, nothing changes except Arcane. That's it.
I'm expecting it to be like. I guess we'll see, but.
And hop it.
Yeah, I also get protection earlier because of that.
Good. That's the solution for the protection.
You're doing Arcane Water?
Yeah. Alright, you are slowly dying, but you will technically succeed. But it doesn't change that you're actually.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't look like I'm gonna get capped back out again.
Yeah. But is that good enough? Like, would you trust the healer in raids?
I think for most encounters, yeah. Like, I don't take that much damage in most fights. The places that I would take more, like BG, protection's not gonna help there anyway.
Yeah.
And for that, like, you know, if you have a second healer, it's probably fine. I don't know how much. Like, is your heal skill just for burst healing, or is it for like part of your rotation or something?
It is burst healing. I incorporate it into my rotation solely because of the environment here.
Yeah.
But the rotation goes so much better if I don't use it. I save like a second and a half, so it's a second and a half of better protection uptime.
Oh, okay. Cause I'm thinking like your Signet of Waters also burst healing. If you had the Golem, that's also burst healing.
I could use. I'm trying not to rely on the Golem because rebound's really nice, and I would like to run fire top just for damage.
So for like, let's say Gorsible, you have
Gorsival. I would run. I shouldn't need a lot of healing, but I would want CC. So I would run Ice Bow. I have the option of either Aftershock or Eye of the Storm. It does not matter. And then I would run Signet of Fire.
Like, the only healing pressure is for like,
CC.
you know, 2 or 3 seconds, assuming we have good CC.
Yeah, and then my regen is... Oh, fuck.
That's a huge... Yeah.
It's about 200 heal per second. I could just check this. Yeah, it is about 200 heal per second because 2 people, 411.
Okay.
But this is full Celestial. I mean, everything can change here. I'm just trying to... Since Celestial works really well here, I figured I may as well play around. But I can change anything.
Most of your damage is Condi, right?
Yes. Most of my damage
Check
is...
out Seraph. You lose the Condi duration, but...
Let's run full Seraph.
I would be curious if it does more damage, despite that. Actually, you might have to run, like, Balthazar runes or something like that if you did that, which... You said you're running Lissa?
Yeah. I can always switch my rune to be anything. It's just that Lissa does 10% boon duration. But Balthazar is just purely damage, so I lose...
Yep.
I just realized I wasn't running my Celestial Amulet. So all that time before was about 63% boon duration. So if I ran Balthazar, I would be back to 61% boon duration. So it's a little less.
This is full Seraph and Balthazar.
It's not full Seraph. I would have to leave the instance and try to find Seraph stuff. It is...
Yeah, it's just thinking.
Yeah, it's all my legendary stuff, so Celestial Ring, Celestial Amulet, Celestial Weapons.
Okay.
So Seraph would
close
probably...
enough.
Yeah, it would probably be about... I mean, if I go to my build editor here, let's just change it all to Seraph and see what it would look like. And I would be running fire and alright, so I would be at about 61% boon duration. There you go.
Do you have a reliance on the crits from Seraph?
Yes.
I mean, like, okay.
Actually,
you could also run Plague Doctor if the crits don't matter.
They matter for both Arcane and Fire spec. Because
But that has an internal cooldown, so Fury should be enough to proc that.
if I ran Arcane instead... Oh, it also has an internal cooldown. Okay, so it then doesn't matter as much.
Do you have a, like, Vitality to other stat conversion? I know that's, like,
I do not
common.
believe so, but we can check. I think the only one is... one that I think it's an Earth. Yeah, gain condition damage based on toughness, so I have nothing.
It's not very valuable. Okay.
So, Plague, Vitality, Concentration, Healing Power, Concentration. So I just lose. I get Vitality, but I lose out on Precision.
Yeah. So like at the end of the day, usually it doesn't make too big of a difference, but sometimes if you have like a stat conversion or something like that, one's better than the other. If you're like, I guess if you're tanking, it opens up more options too.
Yeah.
Because there's stats like Settlers or Apothecaries, which could.
But if though both of those don't have concentration, and that's the main struggle point.
Yeah, concentration. Okay.
Also, if I'm running this much, Do I need smoldering? Let's check. I can go without smoldering for the time being.
Yeah, you could do, there's burn duration
Yes.
food if you wanted extra damage, and then other than that, you could run, like, you know, regular healer food.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
then you could run concentration sigil, maybe.
So previously, 20% of my damage is bleeding. Yeah. How much is torment? Oh, that's garbage.
4%.
So let's run Earth Sigil instead of Torment Sigil, and then I don't know. We don't need. I don't know. I guess I could run Transference. I guess. I mean, it's not damage focused, but we're struggling on healing. I could also run Concentration.
Yeah, I would say, like, if the boon duration isn't enough, you could put in concentration, but it does seem like it'd be enough.
But
It's just,
protection is an issue.
yeah. And then on fights where there's a lot of moving around, it might have drops, but, like, I'm curious how much transference makes a difference, but...
We could try.
Are you still QuitarHero on?
Yeah. So we can
There's
run.
also the option of Relic of the Herald,
Oh yeah.
if
That is
boons
a good
are an
option.
issue. Because like 17% when it's fully stacked, I think.
It's
Quite
25 times 10. 225 divided by 15.
Yeah, so 16.66%.
I'm getting 15. It's 225.
It'd be 250, right?
Oh, you know. Yeah, that would do it. That's a lot of boon duration.
Yep.
That would.
It's
solve...
really good for like non-healer builds, I think. It's just takes a bit to ramp up, but
So alright, Blish, Herald. It is on. I don't think I have that account bound. So if I were to run that, alright, we gotta do math here. So protection was like 90-ish%, right?
yeah.
So Herald should barely make the protection permanent.
Yep.
And that's just a lot of stats, and when other people give me boons, that helps me maintain it, so it's fine. So we could do a combination of transference. Dude, what do I run for my other damage sigil?
I mean, Smoldering's probably the best for other damage one, if,
There's no point in smoldering.
Oh, you're
because...
already at 89.
And I'm gonna run
okay.
food that... I'm probably just gonna run, like, expertise food or something.
If you're, like, wanting to have another damage one,
Yes.
I would consider doing, not Smoldering, what's it called? Agony, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It'd be close between that and Earth, but, like...
Yeah. Alright, let's give it a shot. Like, the goal is when I kill a golem, you are able to get back to 100% health. That's what I want.
Like, what I also think is there's, like,
Greetings.
several relic options that would always work. So, like, I would run Relic of the Herald if there's, like, a very mobile fight and you want to make sure you keep boons up. You could run Caracosa if you're looking for just, a little more sustained healing monk for the same thing. You could run the... I don't remember what it's called, but there's one that gives barrier when you use your healing skill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's block.
Block.
Man, 10 fucking gold for a relic, man.
You could do Relic of Duena as well, if if you're sure your regen is gonna be priority, but I'm guessing
I
it's
know.
mostly not.
No way. My healing power is 600.
What else is there? Does Relic of the Warrior work for attunement swaps?
Uh, we could
Because that could be
try.
ridiculously good.
See you there.
I mean, I have the money. We can try.
It does not affect elementals attunements.
I don't need to spend 10 gold to buy it. Before we head back in, anything else that seems cool?
Let me pull up the full list just because
You're all good.
I am curious. Flock sounds potentially really good, particularly for like the test that we're doing.
Flock
And then
is
for-
heal on. It's barrier on heal, right?
Yep. But for most situations,
It's not.
you're
great.
not gonna want barrier immediate. Like for what's it called? Bone Skinner would be good.
Yeah. I'm not.
Uh,
I mean, I am putting a lot of emphasis on like succeeding the special forces test, but I don't want to do too much that would be
yeah, just
specific
specifically
to
for it.
So I
You
want
could do Zephyrite, but I don't feel like there's an elite you'd use in your rotation unless if that works with the golem, like the active effect, that could be good.
It's super speed on elite. That's it.
It gives protection and resolution on elite.
I mean, this build doesn't give resolution. How much resolution base?
I think. Let me see.
Is it-
Only 1 second for this. The number of ticks scales based on your elite cooldown, so I don't really know how it would
So
work.
it's going to be
but
below 20. It's so it'll be 4. So that is 1.7 seconds for 4 pulses. That sucks.
yeah, it's not a lot, but I guess other than that, like Relic of the Fractal, if you just want more damage, if you're like a low heal fight. Which honestly, like there are a lot of low heal pressure fights. It could be worth it. But
I can
yeah,
mess around.
that's all I've got.
There's a dog down here. Oh. I forgot. Never mind. Alright, back in we go.
You have a lot of Condi clans on that build?
Because I am running fire, yes I do. I have to ditch damage for it, of course, but the easy one is smothering auras. Fire auras have increased duration, and then applying auras to allies removes conditions, and transmuting auras removes conditions from nearby allies.
That's cool.
No ICD, and I am an aura share build.
Hi there.
I give
Visit
so
console
many
to begin
auras.
combat testing. If you have any
Plus
inquiries,
the
please speak to
innate
me.
aura share, sorry, the Condi removal from just water.
Yeah, I think that covers just about all the relics that seem like they'd be good to me.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get some new cool ones.
That's actually going to be in the following update. The next update is Legendary Relic.
Oh, we're not getting any. Okay.
So, I'm running Herald Relic. I'm running Transference Agony. I'm not too concerned about damage, that can easily be optimized. But let's give it a go. And let's see how good the healing is. Ready, check.
You're gonna be squishier as well here.
Go.
Because you have toughness.
I didn't actually want to use that. I'm dead. You are probably
Yeah.
dead as well.
Actually feels like the burst healing was lower this time.
I guess that was monk.
Cause you did,
Hmm.
your relic was Caracosta before, right? And now you've got
Oh yeah,
Herald.
yes it was. So now I'm running Herald.
Yeah, that did make a pretty big difference.
Hmm.
You have transference on, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
The transference won't help keep you alive, it only help keep allies alive, but
Mm-hmm. Oh man. I'm not sure there's a good solution because it's water and then everything else kinda sucks, but it has like one or two good things in it, like ignoring damage. Fire is Conti Cleanse. Maybe additional might. And that's about it. Air is just I have the ability to give easy swiftness and fury. And my dazes are better. But I don't do many my stuns are better, but I don't do stuns outside of Ice Bow. I mean technically, but it's not reliable. Earth is
very selfish defensive.
I give AoE.
That's good,
I give protection with auras. I give stability whenever I tune to Earth, and whenever I use a signet, I get an aura, and that triggers with aura share, so I give more boons as a result.
And more auras, right?
And more what? Sorry.
And more auras. So like,
yeah. So it's just that.
but it's just basically just since you're using fire for damage and you're using water for extra healing sometimes, it would just be those two, right? So frost aura, fire aura.
Yeah, but that's still like the thing is they have very low cooldowns.
Mm-hmm.
And then I could run Arcane. Column 1 sucks.
Which basically lower cooldowns, right?
Lower, more boons. Actually, I'll just do this. More boons. I get that, I guess. That. And that.
The geyser thing would be so good if you could proc it without having to res somebody.
Yeah. I mean, if I run staff, I could do it. But
Yeah.
if I run staff, I don't have that, and I don't have that.
I mean, mostly just like if you could use that trait without somebody downing first, like if there's
Yeah.
another way to use it, but gain concentration and reduce recharge.
Yeah.
And that also lowers the cooldown on overloads, right?
Yes.
That's
Yep.
like that trait alone.
That's why the vast majority of Elementalist builds, heal Elementalist, use that
Yep.
use Arcane. But I find that completely optional because even at like 70% boon duration, I can simply swap between two attunements and be fine. It's only when you're going from the first initial overload to the next one that's sketch. But then if it's Earth, you're good.
The only thing it makes me think about is you get to use water overloads more often if you wanted to. But
I always think of triple overload because you want to be in water to heal, and water overload is a very powerful heal. So you have to go in fire to maintain might, you have to go in earth to maintain protection, and then you have water. Air is optional.
The deadly raid squad is ahead.
so the water, like if you use water overload, how long do you have to wait before you can use it again if you don't like leave water?
20
Jeez.
seconds.
Okay, that's pretty, and that's with Arcane on?
No.
Okay, so it'd be like, I guess,
16.
yeah, 17. That's
I am forced to go into another attunement no matter what. Well, actually, I'm at 100% here, apparently. Cool. Can I literally camp one attunement if I tried super hard on Arcane? 13? It's possible. It is actually possible, just barely. Wow, good to know. I did not expect single attunement camping could work out.
I'm kind of glad it can work, but like you do obviously sacrifice a lot to do it.
Yeah.
So now my question would be, you have 17 seconds. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So now if you use Earth Overload, you get another overload before your water one is even off cooldown, but you can't even swap back to water yet, right? Yeah.
Even if I do swap to
swapping
water, I have
off
to
water.
wait.
Yep.
That's where the double attunement comes in. Because now my alacrity is really good.
Where's the fresh water trait?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, where is it? I mean, I really didn't expect you could just camp on attunement at really high boon duration. Like, it's still not even, it's, like, it's an actual camp of a attunement. You can't just go to another one and expect to have good uptime, and if you ever do swap off of water, you
have to use another overload.
Yes, no matter what it is, which isn't the worst thing, but, I mean, look what I'm doing when I'm just camping water. Regen, I don't even give vigor permanently, unless I go into other attunements. It's just alacrity and regen. You know, all I need to do is just like press this button or this, and I give vigor, and it's permanent. But I'm still camping water. Doesn't matter if I'm running Warhorn or if I'm just auto attacking. But yeah, on this build, this is where Karakosa really would shine. 4 3/4 cooldown, a blast finisher.
Wait, does it field and blast? Or is it
no,
just
it's just a
the
finisher.
blast? Okay.
But it's a very short.
There's usually fields on the ground anyway, but
yeah. But all of these are Karakosa procs.
yeah, but then that kills the whole idea of like trying to get in damage though. Unless you're like,
Yeah.
I guess it kind of reminds me of the new Celestial Firebrand in a way, in that like you're spec'd for both damage and healing, and you can kind of like camp healing for a while, camp damage for a while.
Yeah.
Especially if the fight's already started and you've got like a buffer of boons, you could do an extra cycle in water for more healing.
This build also, if you want to do just one attunement, chill, it suffers from the Renegade and Firebrand effect. Okay, here, I give boons. Alright, you're not getting boons until this is off cooldown.
Yep. That's always a problem for like a lot of stuff.
And I would love to take top column in Tempest if I could. Wait, never mind. They changed it. Never mind. This used to be something to proc Sand Squall, which is that. Just
but
another one right here, but they got rid of it. Then this used to be Eye of the Storm, and they've really changed these. I don't know. I'll think about it. Thank you for popping over and helping, but I'll have to think about this.
It seems like it has a lot of utility. And then, like, you know, if somebody is the other healer that's gonna carry some weight, it'll probably function very well.
Mm-hmm. I am now enlightened by these Alacrity Tempest changes that I now have a new view for the build. Apparently you can just camp one attunement if you super wanted to, or double attunement is perfectly viable even if you don't take Arcane. Which I previously thought was only a thing with extremely high boon duration on staff while requiring Arcane, which used to be the case. I thought 3 attunement was mandatory, but now I know better.
It's for like a lack DPS, you probably want 3, but
yeah,
there's probably a way to get 100% boon duration if you wanted to do like the Wolfy Fire build and be lack DPS. Actually, let me think here. Doing the Seraph plus Balthazar plus Herald Relic setup is really close to 100%.
Boon duration?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Like,
and then you just max out burning, and then
yep.
Funnily enough, you could literally camp fire attunement.
Okay, so concentration, sigil, relic of the herald. That's 26%. Full seraph is it'd be the same as celestial, so it's like 60. I can't remember. 68%.
All right,
maybe?
how about this? All right, so right now in the build editor I am running Balthazar. Alright, so full Seraph, Balthazar, Herald at 10 stacks, including birthday cake. Is that... damn it. Hold on, I have to confirm.
But you don't need water for this idea either. I'm assuming you do Tempest, Fire, Arcane.
Water is Soothing Mist, which I'm actually not using.
Well, if there's like a boon DPS build, I mean like full Wolfy style.
Oh. Then we just look at this. It's Fire, Arcane, Tempest.
Okay.
Does 33, does 34,000.
So if you do Fire Arcane on your build editor, switch the water to Arcane, because that gives you extra concentration, right?
I'm at 90.
And then if you have Sigil of Concentration instead of the Torment,
I'm effectively at 100%.
so it's a possibility that that could work. I don't know how good it would be, but
so it would just flat out be 100%. Where's my sphere food?
Oyster.
Yeah, but 90. I'm like 1 or 2 points away from 100%.
You could take one concentration, whatever we call it, infusion if you wanted.
Yeah, but this is fine. And then this would be, but this also means that my burning's only, quote unquote, only 93%. What's a good utility?
You know, how much does maintenance oil give?
Maintenance oil.
The bountiful one, yeah.
So this is
Or not that one. The one that gives boon duration. I think there's one of those.
Furious maintenance oil gain concentration based on precision and healing power based on precision.
I'm gonna look at them. I think I have
we want the
something
drumstick
else.
that does healing power and based on concentration and concentration based on precision.
Let me see which one it is, because I think I have one of them in my Guardian.
There's also magnanimous maintenance oil.
That might be the one I'm thinking of.
That's not going to work well here. We're better off looking at precision stuff. Magnanimous is toughness and vitality based on... Wait, no, it's concentration. Mag.
Peppermint oil is the one I'm thinking of, but that's based on healing and precision.
Yeah, the healing power is not great, but the precision is 2218, which is a lot. So anything based on precision, like Furious Maintenance Oil, gain concentration and healing power based on 3% of precision.
Yeah.
Well, 3% of precision, 2218 times 0.03 is 66.
70. It'd be better just to do regular, I think, like on the whether you do like a writ or a yeah. Well, maybe not that one. That one goes off with power.
Alright, my default power sucks, but my precision is good. Where's the utility? Ooh, Furious Crystal. Furious Tuning Crystal. Gain Connie damage and expertise equal to 3% of your precision.
How close does that get to? I think that's the answer. And you could do infusions, like do one concentration infusion.
I'm not concerned about the concentration. It's like one fucking.
It's close enough. You could just do a few spitefuls. Probably might need a lot of spitefuls actually.
Maybe like 5 more.
At the end of the day, it's not like you'd need them. It's just.
I think at a certain point, what is it? Malin is better. Like this is fine.
Yeah. There's 6 of them.
7.
7.
So 100% boon duration, 100% burning duration with decent healing power.
What am I thinking? You don't need Seraph, you could do Ritualist.
I want healing power. Ritualist doesn't do healing power. As far as
I'm thinking for the like a boon DPS build, but yeah, Ritualist doesn't. Seraph for the healing one, but
yes. Otherwise, he would just run what probably Snowcrow has, which is a mix of Vipers and Ritualist and blah blah.
But for like fire camping is what I'm thinking about. Because they're probably like 30% boon duration on their build, I'm guessing.
Yeah. The thing is, if you're fire camping, you're not healing. It's a fun concept, but you're also not even giving regen or vigor or anything else. That's the point.
Yep. It is interesting, like...
So...
There's so many combinations of stats you can make.
Yeah.
For different things on this build. Or for Tempest, I guess.
So it is very good to know that you can camp an attunement, but we need to think about, what is it? mean, I'm like half here now because I've been looking at this build for like 2 hours, and I usually do things in short bursts. I like look at a build for 30 minutes and I put it on hold. And then I take a look at it an hour later. So I'm in the mindset of trying to sell a build to Wolfie. Like, and that's kind of how I'm trying to justify a build to be good, a heal build. Wolfie
Is she wanting to do healing?
She wants to play something that's fun that isn't what she's been normally playing. So,
Okay.
the point for Wolfie, I'm never going to be able to sell this build to Wolfie, but it's more just the correct mentality to think of a build. In that, Wolfie wants to play a build that... Wolfie wants to play Elementalist where I can camp an attunement, and then all of my other attunements are utility attunements. And whenever I need to go and do something, I can go into fire or air or earth or water and CC or do a quick healing burst or what have you. And whenever I have to go back, then I can go back to healing or something. So
He wants kits.
The fact that Tempest can camp an attunement is good information to have, but generally for any heal Tempest build, you always want to start in fire and then transition into water overload eventually, and then, or maybe just go into water whenever you need healing, but maybe just go between fire and earth like I've been doing, and then water and camp it however long you need for healing, and then swap off of it. But the problem is if you camp one attunement, you're never going to give boots. If I wanted to camp
Firebrand?
No, she hates. I don't. She doesn't care for it.
Understandable.
But for
I
heal,
say that has that feeling, but like, yeah.
I used to like that build, but not anymore.
Yep, same.
So I think for any heal build, any heal hybrid, you never camp one attunement. It's very funny to think about, but you never do it because you want to actually do your job. But you could do things in the more simple way, in that you could always let me think. So we would be running. We run water for aura share, because that's how we give vigor, regen, and anything else with auras. Because that's the entire point. Because the only reason I would even consider playing Heal Tempest is for fun hybrid healing, or to make sure that my Vindicators in the group have fun.
Yep.
So it is forced water, anything for second spec, so fire, and then Tempest. And making sure that my Vindicators, let's say, have all the boons they need to succeed is what's important. And then damage is secondary. It's not hard to give them the boons to succeed. You have to spend time in fire to get a fire overload on you, so then you can share all 25 stacks of your might and fury to allies, so you don't have to think until you return to fire again. And then at some point, assuming Dagger Warhorn, you always want to go into air to double proc your Dagger 3, which is an aura. So easy aura share. We then want to go to earth to make sure people have boons, and it's another aura with a Warhorn 4 there. But water is always optional.
It's
So
more of like you're using your utility and you switch to water for healing rather than the other way.
Yeah.
That you're describing, where you camp water and then switch to the other ones for utility.
Mm-hmm. But I'm thinking of only doing fire and earth and trying to justify that.
Mm-hmm.
Because every time you never mind. If you only go fire earth, you only have one source of aura share that are not your skills, which is Warhorn 4. And what is it? Earth. Which isn't great. Because you're not going to maintain vigor that way. Nor regen. So you either need to rely on your utility skills, which I guess you could do, or you always have to quickly pop into air. Which I guess isn't a bad thing. Just go in air for a quick moment, and then whenever you finish an overload, air is available. So maybe the rotation would be start in fire, complete your overload, and then because it's the very start of your rotation, you are forced to go into air earth, like immediately instead of camping fire a bit. And then you camp earth as long as you need to do the overload, and then swap back to fire ASAP. And then here, since we've created a buffer of alacrity, we can then start camping fire a little bit. Because if you swap between two attunements, especially if it's really quick, just fire, earth, earth, fire, or fire a tiny bit, air, earth, and don't do anything else, fire overload is not, you're not going to be able to swap back into fire when you complete your earth overload. So making sure that we spend as much time in fire as possible to maximize our damage, because burning is what we're spec'd for, is most important. So it's fire overload, stay a little bit in fire, and then maybe when it reaches like 12 seconds, you then swap to air, earth, do your air, earth stuff, then air, fire. And maybe that'll be enough? I don't know. And then only go into water for healing. It's just too rotational, man. Oh, anything in other discords? No. Man, I want to find out LFG. I want to have a little bit of fun.
Raid LFG has been really slow this week.
I mean, I can kind of get that, but still. I mean, there aren't many dailies in raids while there is in strikes of people. Like daily Cold War, daily Freezy. Raids. Oh, did you know there's a Wednesday static recruiting? They apparently want a thief main. Okay. Neat. Yeah,
It'd be cool if raids didn't have a weekly limit on rewards or had some kind of alternate system to basically facilitate re-clears.
I mean, there is. It'd be cool if we got like a couple more bags of gear. Like, let's say we get double what we get from re-clearing as it stands right now. Well, you know what? I would be fine with that. Like, it sucks. It's underwhelming rewards, but if you do a lot of re-clears, they really stack up. And they will never be as competitive as like doing any other content, but
yeah, like it could give up to like let's say a gold, and then like even if you did speed re-clears of whatever the easiest, fastest raid boss would be, you probably wouldn't match up to open world farms.
Mm-hmm.
As long as they keep it under that, then it shouldn't really cause problems, but
Yeah.
just get people to actually redo them would be really nice. Or get people more okay with redoing them, I should say, because most people are like, oh, I already got that.
Yeah.
Me too, but...
Perhaps a solution, I mean there are many solutions, but a cool one would be, you know how meta events have those rare drops like a chair or an infusion? Just put that in raids, don't put a limit of like you have one time per week to try to get it. You just have a chance to get it anytime you clear. I mean, it obviously works for metas because Ana's been doing it for several years. So maybe you get the same amount of get 2 bags of gear, utility backpack, and a chance to get Doom's Throne, or a chance to get a Ghostly Infusion.
That'd be cool.
One day the Aerodome will finish being built. All of these crates will go, these oh, what, I don't know what they're actually called, stagecoaches will go away. All these people, like this guy up there, Corinus Rock Welder, he'll eventually stop doing his job because it'll actually be fully finished, you know? Reminds me of Lion's Urge when was slowly making updates to make Lion's Arch into the sea resort it currently is today. But there were it was like rebuilding efforts like you see in the Aerodome just all over Lion's Arch, over multiple larger updates. And it finally became what it is today. But this will just be an eternal, oh, it's a work in progress, one day we'll be done.
Someday.
Mm-hmm. I want to find LFG. I don't want to command. Do enough commanding. Someone says anyone would do Wing 4, when he actually means anybody want to do Wing 4. Any funny fractal LFGs? Someone who doesn't know how to spell dailies. How about the other LFGs? And then we do my monthly dungeon check. Is this actually popular content? I've seen 4 to 5 LFGs. Guess I can't expect for much more.
A lot of fractal LFGs.
Yeah, so profitable content. And it's quick.
And daily rewards. I think doing like CMs plus tier 4s is pretty comparable to doing like one raid wing. But like slightly longer.
One raid wing is like 10 gold. Like a full clear.
I mean, not gold wise, like time wise. So like, you know, if there was a daily raid wing, and you got full rewards for doing that, even if you already got your weekly clear.
Yeah, raids would be quicker money though.
Yeah. I think raids are. Like if you're doing CMs, I guess it's what, like 4 gold a boss?
2.
2 for CMs, that's it?
Yes. 2 in provisioner tokens. And maybe a rare bag of gear.
You know, if the new legendary armor requires provisioner tokens, maybe people will do raids for those. Maybe.
There's a noob training for Cold War if you want to join that. How much you haven't done it, I think you're a noob at it. You would benefit. Alright, well, outside of that type of stuff, it's kind of boring, so I'll just end it here. Thank you for watching.